no intro. We're going straight at this. First thing you're gonna do, you're gonna go to your comp settings, make sure everything is like this, set to this, 24 FPS, blah blah blah. Your comp size can of course change, but I'm just using this for now. And I'd recommend putting your preview quality to quarter or third, so your preview doesn't take forever to load. And make sure your preview FPS is the same as your comp FPS, or your preview is gonna be all messed up. And you can put this on. It helps like render your preview better, but I don't really use it. But and it's fine. And just put your song, just mute the background. But if you're downloading the MP3, you don't really need to do that. Right now, I'm just fast forwarding this part. I'm just marking the beats. The way you just do this is by pressing the start key on your keyboard, and it just places a key mark. And put your clip in. Mute the audio. You don't really have to mute the audio all the time. So I'm gonna start off by syncing the slide that's gonna happen to my first marker that I placed. And just something like that. So now cutting your clip down, you wanna cut your scope out. On this frame you can see the bullet flying, and cut it again right before he like rechambers, like pulls the bolt back. And then go to the next kill before he scopes in. Cut it over there and do the same thing we did for the first clip on the scope out to the second kill. I'm just gonna drag it to my points. Boom. Sometimes you're gonna put it just a frame before your keyframe that you put for the beat marker, because sometimes it's not synced, and doing that will fix it a bit. And now I'm just gonna fast forward and cut all my clips. I'll see you guys in a bit. And now that I have all my clips split and all that, we're gonna start on the time remap. I'm just gonna cut a bit. We're gonna press CTRL Shift plus T to enable time remap. Just place the keyframes on both ends of the clip. I mean, like in the start and the end. And you can double tap that, and so you'll select both, or you can just swipe and select both of them. And press F9 to enable easy ease. And you can go in the graph. Just bring the keyframes closer together. Select the graph, and we're gonna just adjust it a bit so that it's just a little before the scope in happens, but it's not all the way there, so it looks kind of like this is what you want to have and for it to look like. And now I'm just gonna fast forward once again, select all of them, enable time remap, do the keyframe things and all that. And now I'm just gonna adjust all the keyframes and the clips so they fit into all the beat points that I've added. Also, make sure to double tap all these boxes on all the clips that you wanna add velocity to, so your clips aren't all choppy and stuff. And now, probably for the most important part, the graphs, the velo. I should do your graphs for the scope out. I mean, I'm not gonna take much time. There's nothing really need to be said. Just do what I'm doing in the clip. Adjust it a bit so it looks nice. And also make sure your first frame, your scope frame, doesn't have any warp in it like this. So just do a little adjustment on the clip, on the graph point thing, so it looks good. And now you go, just clean little. It's a clean shot right there. It's not that hard to do velo at all. I haven't been editing Codm for like a long time, but you can get used to it pretty fast. And all this, I'm just rendering it out so my preview isn't all laggy. You can see, boom, shot looks clean as hell. And it only took me like 2 minutes, not even. And you can see warp. All you gotta do to fix warp, but don't take this for all your clips, because it all depends on the clip and how good the quality is and how much FPS the clip has. So depending on that, you'll see how much warps you get and all that. Just adjust it like that again so you don't have any warps. And clips like these where like the character moves or like flicks to the other side. It may look bad depending on the clip. Like I said, if the clip is bad quality and it's not 60 fps at least, you'll see a lot of warp. So yeah, that sucks on Codm. You can't really control that. And for this, I won't add any time remap, but I'll do time stretch and I'll adjust the frames of the clip to just how much I want it so it can fit in that place. No time remap, no nothing, just a little speed up. You could add posterized time to that and make it like 18 fps if you want. It'll be like cool effect. And now we're gonna do a 3 point wheel. See, I edit, but I don't really know what the words or like the things you call certain
You can
things.
use this. It's a little different from what you use for your scope in, scope out, and stuff. You can use this for slides, little slide cancel clips, slides, and like gun lifts or like rechambers. Rechamber is basically a callback, but I don't. That name sounds weird, so I just say rechamber. It is when your character pulls back the bolt of the sniper. You can use that graph and it'll just look a little smooth. And now I'll just fast forward with this because the video is already 6 minutes long. It's just a little graphs. You can slow that down and watch that in depth a bit if you want, but it's basically the things that I've already gone over. Now for this clip, I'm gonna include two of the scope frames, which is basically the frame of your sniper when you are scoped in like this, these two frames. So I'm gonna keep two instead of one, just to have a little smoother scope out, because I'm not adding any velo to the scope in for this clip. And that's one thing, you don't always gotta add velo to certain scope in, scope out, root chambers, movements. You don't always gotta velo every single thing. You can leave some things as is, but it just depends, right?
Now this bit just made me struggle a bit, but anyways, for shots that doesn't have a scope in or out, and it's just a hip thrust shot like this, a no scope, if you will. You don't gotta do much, but you can make it look clean. You don't gotta add sharp reload anything. This is just a little linear graph. Just not, it's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's made, and this shot, I mean the clip, this part of the clip has some warp in the wall right there. I don't know if you can see it, but and there's nothing really I can do about that, because yeah, I'm just gonna leave that like that. You can cover it up sometimes. You can put like a little one frame in there, or you can just try to cover up with some overlay or like some effect, or just with the pancrop. Anyways, this is how the edit just looks so far, with no effects, no pancrop, no nothing, just the edit itself. And now I'm just gonna show you some basic thing to do reload for the locus, which is this gun in Codm. And yeah, and also since I ended the DLQ clip in a slow from that last hip fire shot, I'm gonna start off the locus clip in a slow Desc way. It'll just transition better, you know what I'm saying? And now for this, I would end the scope out in this. You could end it way quicker if you want, before he pulls out the bolt. That also works. And as always, make sure your scope frame doesn't have any warps. And I'm just gonna adjust this so I only have one scope frame. And yeah, boom, shot. And for the rest, I'm just gonna fast forward because it's not that different from the DLQ. You can slow it down and watch it if you want, but yeah, it's not that different from the thing. And now we're gonna get the DLQ again, but this is a different skin, which is a bit different but not too much again. I'm just showing you like where to end the scope out and stuff. Always make sure there's no warp on this frame, or else it's gonna look really weird. Yeah, boom. Some more fast forward parts, just so the video isn't too long, you know what I mean? I just did some things. And when you're done with your velo, select all your clips, right click, click pre-compose,
Click OK. Okay, I missed it. Okay, I missed two clips. Do the pre-compose it. This is just so all your clips are in one layer. Anyways, now we're gonna do some basic effects, pan crop, shakes and all that. What I did there was I pressed shift ctrl plus y, but you can also right click the comp and click, I just add an adjustment layer. A lot of people do pan crop very different ways, but this is just how I do it. Click the scale thing, like little clock thing, it just adds the keyframe thing. So you gotta add your keyframes, right, for the pan crop, in the right frames. Just basically just copy what I'm doing right now. But pan crop is a very important part in all edits, so like when you do pan crop, don't be too lazy about it. Just do the things I'm doing. I'm gonna speed it up a bit. You can slow it down if you want. Again, just edit. I'm gonna show you the graphs, of course, in so slow way. Click it. Click F9 to enable ECEs, and just add these numbers. I mean, it doesn't always have to be the numbers that I'm adding right now for the pan crop. You can add it to whatever you want. Just make sure always what I'm going to show you next is the graphs. You gotta have your graphs nice, or else your pan crop is going to be all messed up and it's not going to look nice. And some you don't gotta add exact pan crop, I mean scale numbers. You can just drag it in and just see how it fits and go from there. And I select all of it. If you want to go to the graphs, you got all the keyframes, all the graphs are there of the pan crop. And yeah, I'm gonna go quiet for a bit so you guys can just see how I'm doing the graphs. For like the slide a little, not too fast, not too sharp. The intro bit, I mean the start, I made it a bit sharp so it comes in like boom. And the slide part, I'm keeping it like a bit linear. Linear is basically just not, it doesn't happen too fast, but it doesn't happen too slow either. It just happens. But yeah, just do this. That's how your shot should look like with pan crop. And now there's this, another shot. Just do the basic graph. Just try and copy this and see if it works out. If your edit looks like this, you know you did something right? Okay. Boom. I guess I'll speed it up a bit so you guys can just see. Again, slow it down if you want. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. And now for probably the second most important parts in edits, the shakes. You always gotta keep your shakes in the top layer of everything. So you gotta put it above your pan crop, your shakes, your effects. What? Your shakes. You mean you gotta put your shakes above everything else, right? You can obviously keep the CC and maybe some like one framers above the shake, that'll be fine. And for me, I'm just gonna use one of my shake presets that I made a long time ago and I'm just using them. Of course there's some other presets you can see, but don't worry about them, right? Basically you can just copy. I'll show you my values and stuff, you can see them. So I the graph sharper, little tilt shake. Simple, nothing too crazy, nothing too impactful. For shakes, I don't really know how to explain shakes or how to make your own, so I'm just gonna show you. Look at all my settings, my elbow things. You can copy that for now, but you could obviously shift it around, change a few things, or make your own. Just add the S shake, play around with the settings, see what looks good, see what comes up. Which is how I learned it as well. Some of my friends sent me some shakes, some little presets when I first started off on After Effects.
when I made the switch from mobile, they gave me some presets and I just changed it around and I played with it until I made my own versions of shakes and other certain effects. But yeah, for the start, don't be afraid to use a little preset here and there, and you can obviously make your own later on when you figure it out. And now I'm just adding this effect called zoom blur. It just makes your shot look smoother. You can just go back and copy what I did if you were distracted by my talking. This looks cleaner, you know? Just make the shot feel like a shot. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah. And now I'm gonna drag in this effect called BCC Lens Blur ODS, which is another thing I'm gonna use to make the shot look cleaner, smoother. Just makes the shot feel more natural. Also, this could happen where it shows you every single thing. What you gotta do is just deselect everything, press U again, and then boom, it's fixed. So you can only show your keyframes. Again, just copy things I'm doing, the values. Keep it small, don't add too much blur or it'll look fake, which is what I just see. It just looks weird if you add. Oh, here, you can copy this layer, add it again, but when you do this, this is just so you don't have to add keyframes over and over again for the shakes, right? But when you do this, don't keep the values the same. You gotta change it a bit. So it won't look like you just copied and pasted the thing, even though that is what you are doing. But don't copy and paste shakes and pancrop. You don't want to look your edit. What am I saying? You don't want to make your edit look like you just copied and pasted a bunch of presets. You always want to make some different stuff, different things. Copy and paste. Sometimes you can keep it the same thing, but let's switch it around like every other one or every two. And we go 30 times speed once again. You can slow it down. Again, I want to remind you every time that you can slow it down and see everything I did individually if you want. And now I'm just going to teach you how to do some clean transitions. So you gotta press P on your clip and right click the position, and then there will be something called separate dimension or something. Yeah, you separate the keyframes for the X and Z position, X and Y position. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, do these keyframes things to the points where you want to add a transition to it. So now just drag it a bit, select the keyframes of course before you do it, and also remember to press F9 on your all your keyframes so you can graph it easily like this and do this. Boom. So do this so it like comes in slow, right? And this is the it's upside down because it's the position that goes up and down. Boom. A little transition, and you can of course see it looks scuffed as hell. So what we're gonna do is add motion tile to the clip, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna make this 200. We're gonna make this 200 as well, and select that box. You saw me do it, right? Look at that. It just looks way better, right? Because it duplicates the edges. Yeah, look at that. You can see. But it looks a bit scuffed. So what we're gonna do is add another keyframe on top of it, and we're gonna put this down. And while this goes up, this is going down, right? Oh my God, what is that? we're gonna fix up the graphs just a bit. And do this. And now look at this. Wow, look at that. It just looks so much clearer. The transition. And now for a little bonus, I'm just going to show you how to make a simple CC. For this, you do need the Magic Bullets plugin to get this film effect. At the film, it already looks kind of good, but it's not. So right, I'm just gonna find a frame that you can see the CC nice on. Yeah, you don't gotta copy my values exactly, but you can if you want. It's no problem with me. I'm just gonna do some random things. I don't know what I'm doing, right? You guys may think like, oh my god, I put so much thought into every single thing I do. Sometimes I just throw shit in. And like the graphs I showed you, yes, those are what you should do. But sometimes I just click the keyframe and just throw it somewhere. And like I'll just use that because why not, Just experiment stuff. Something with editing is you always gotta experiment. And I'm just gonna add this glow, this is glow. That looks horrible. What we're gonna do is just lower the brightness. Boom. Look at that. Change the color if you want. It'll make it pop just a bit. And boom, CC. Like, it's not that hard at all to do it. Little CC. I know Penguin in the comment section loves my CCs, bro. Comments like every day. Every comment he comments is about my CC. And this is a little upscale. You can sharpen to your edit and will make the quality look better. You'll see what I mean here. Look at this. Look, it looks better, right? And anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. And as always, if you guys need more help, I'll be more than willing to hop on a Discord call with you and show you how to edit it. If you missed something or if you didn't understand a certain thing, you can just DM me on Discord. I'll leave my ad in the description of this video. And yeah, man, I hope you learned something from this.